Peace, love, and blessings. Welcome to Mayan Moon Mondays with the Melanated Mayan Mystic, the Sacred Empress Tash. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you are looking at this, you or listening to this, you know that this is a recording. There's no live Mayan Moon Monday this week. Let me go ahead and share my screen and we can begin. Now let's go ahead and begin. Let's take 3 deep breaths so we can say the prayer of the 7 galactic directions. From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us so we may see all things in clarity. From the south, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us so we may see all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action so we may do what must be done. From the north, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ashe. Thank you so much for listening to the prayer of the 7 galactic directions. And let's go ahead and take those 3 deep breaths. And forgive me if you hear any outside or background noise. My headphones are not together, and that will be done for any other recording I do because I have so much going on. But for this week, the moon is going to be in the signs of Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, and Taurus. This week, we have 5 signs that the moon is going in between. Now let's talk about the moon voids. The moon will be void, of course, on the 31st, which is today. Happy Halloween for those who celebrate Halloween. The 2nd of November, the 4th of November, and from November 6th through the 7th. The moon will be void, of course. And if you're just listening in, when the moon is void, of course, is when the moon is traveling between 2 signs. When the moon is void, of course, we don't want to start anything new. We want to focus on projects that we've done before. Anything that is internal, we want to focus on doing readings for ourselves, cleaning our houses. All those things are going to help us tap into the moon void. Anything internally, anything that we do externally when the moon is void, of course, will not work out. You'll either have to do it again or start from scratch, which is the same thing. You will have to do it again because you can't start anything new when the moon is void, of course. So the moon phases for the week, we start today with a waxing crescent moon. Tomorrow we have our first quarter moon, and our waxing gibbous moon goes from Wednesday, November 2nd to November 7th on Monday. Some important Mayan energy. We are in the 4th self-existing moon of form, where we are in the power of defining, measuring, and form. And when I tell you guys how important this month has been in terms of being able to define ourselves, to define situations, to measure them and put them into form. Um, as things are coming together astrologically, energetically, the ability to see clearly, to define, to measure, to have form is so important. We are having situations where we need this attribute to dive into. Mars just recently went retrograde in Gemini, and it's going to be important to, comb our thoughts, to take note of the kind of thoughts we have, because our thoughts lead to our passion, it leads to our aggression. It's just really important, our communication form and how it comes out. So this retrograde with Mars being in Gemini is really important. And the place where it's going to show up most is the house placement in your astrological chart. So if you have access to that, you definitely want to look into it. If you're not sure what that is, you can contact me, and we can definitely dive into it. But I'm really looking forward to um, this Mars retrograde in Gemini because it's in my sixth house, and that's really going to allow me to focus on how it shows through my health, how my communication shows through, the things I pay attention to detail to, etc., and so on. Um, we are also in the ripening harvest cycle that lasts until December 12th. This is giving us a clear season of harvest, and also we can learn how to become ripe, how to harvest ourselves, with knowing that the ripening helps fruit to become sweet. So, what helps us over time to become sweet? Like when people like to say, because of my age, I'm old, I tell them I'm like wine. I just get better over time. And so that over time is the ripening or the harvest. This week we experienced two gap days, two galactic activation portal days. It's November 2nd and November 7th. And lastly, um, the replay of the Harvest Cycle webinar is available. That comes along with worksheets, and that allows you to dive in on how to become a harvester, how to make sure that you're constantly manifesting and bringing things to maturity. And that's with the harvest cycle. And we also have the intro to the Mayan calendar webinar, and that's going to be offered as a replay as well. And as I said, we're in the fourth self-existing moon of form, where we are definitely given the ability to define, to measure, and to see the form. And not only is that important for this month, but because this year is a red self-existing moon, we actually have that power on lock. We can utilize that at any time. But for this amount of time, up until the 14th of November, this is even more on display. And so when you come to days that are self-existing, that power is just exalted even more. So our power of vision and how we're able to physically define, physically, mentally, spiritually define, to measure, and to see the form and to bring into form is very important. And as always, in the Mayan calendar or the Toscan, um, everything is about navigation. Everything is about direction. And so whenever you see a certain color, it's associated with a phrase and a direction. When you see anything red, it's associated with initiation and the Eastern position. You see a color that is white, then there's a refinement phase, and it's the northern direction. When you see the color blue, it's the transformation cycle, and it deals with not the cycle. I'm stuck on the cycles, y'all. I'm telling you, it's my life right now. But the transformation phase is the western direction, and you have the color yellow, which indicates the ripening or harvest cycle, and it is the southern direction. Now let's dive into it. We start off this week today with the white planetary world bridger. We are guided by the higher power of timelessness. Um, so, how can we, when we feel good about something, we want that moment to last and last and last. So, good memories seem to be timeless. They are always something we can go back to and have a feel good and know that it's always happening. We are experiencing the tone or the vibration, which is the creative energy of the planetary, which associates to the number 10. It's about perfecting, producing, and manifestation. The moon is starts off in Capricorn. Um, I definitely yesterday when the moon was in Scorpio, sorry, Capricorn, spent a lot of time doing some long-term planning. Typically the moon is not comfortable here. There's an emotional distance because the focus is less on emotions and more on action. Um, After the void of course, which is our first void of course for the week, the moon moves into Aquarius, and this is where we can increase our knowledge base. It's a good time to be with other people that think like us, about wanting freedom and doing things not exactly how we normally do. And it's all about thinking toward the future. Um, the white planetary world bridger basically allows us to tap into being able to make ascension into different worlds, being able to go wherever we want to open ourselves up. And this energy basically takes us everywhere. It's the world bridger. So, and we end it with the moon being in a waxing crescent. This is an auspicious time for our affairs and businesses. When the moon is waxing, we are expanding. We are in an expansive stage, and that's a growth phase. And also, this is the last day of the week of refinement, and it is a day of refinement. So the ability to organize, to make adjustments is high today. So let's go ahead into Tuesday. Tomorrow we experience the blue spectral hand. The spectral collective energy always lets us know that our power is increased by 2. Our power is guided by accomplishments. So the accomplishments are going to be powerful by 2. Now that blue spectral hand also lets us know that we can transform things by being more hands-on. Um, and this transformation energy is high as well because this Tuesday takes us into the 3rd week of the month, and it's the week of transformation. It is also a day of transformation. So the ability to change from one form to the next in this self-existing month is high, it's powerful. And being hands-on allows us to experience the vibration, the spectral vibration, which brings us liberation. We free ourselves by dissolving and releasing the things that no longer serve us. So this energy will go along well with the Mars retrograde energy because the Mars Retrograde energy is also going to be about letting go of what no longer serves us. And by being hands on with what's going on with you, you'll be able to identify, to define what needs to be dissolved, what needs to be released so that you can have a more liberated form. So again, we are in the harvest phase. The moon is still in Aquarius on Tuesday, and we do have the first quarter moon. So this day of transformation might be a little bit tension filled, as the first quarter and the third quarter moon often are because of their placement against the sun. But this first quarter moon is a strong energy. It makes us want to act, to change, and show ourselves. And it's also a time for adjustment as well. So this is giving us an increase of the energy from Monday, which was adjustments. And we can utilize our crown chakra as well for Tuesday. And the moon is still, no, it's first quarter. So, okay. Next, we go to the yellow crystal star. That's Wednesday. The moon starts off in Aquarius. We experience our second void of course, which we know don't do anything new, or it will not work. I had an instance where I went to the store when the moon was void and bought something and definitely lost it immediately, was not able to use it. It just was gone. Void of course. And then the moon is going to move into Pisces. Yay, Pisces season. Your emotions are at an increase, imagination, inspiration. You can see where you self-sabotage or you can self-sabotage. So you want to be aware of when the moon is in Pisces, and it's going to be there for a couple of days. But we also are in the yellow crystal star. The crystal vibration of cooperation, when we dedicate and when we universalize and we dedicate to what we see as one, it inspires a tone of cooperation, which we can work in. Now, whenever we see the yellow star, it's always about ascension. People see where we come from as our old ways are dying out and as we are developing new things. So we are taking on the attribute of the star. We are also guided by universal fire. So it's that fire that sparks new things into being, that is going to burn within us. And I think that we definitely should be a little more aware of our energy, because with that Mars being in retrograde and the universal fire, it might either it'll light our fire. So if we're passionate, if we're assertive, if we're aggressive, whatever way we're communicating that day, it is going to be heightened because we are guided by the fire. This is also a great energetic day because it's a galactic activation portal day. And this allows for a more intense energy, a more amplified energy. So with that being in Pisces, we can be extra sensitive and quick to fire. So just be aware of that. And also, if we have any root chakra issues of security and safety, that might pop up as well. Moving on to Thursday, we have the red cosmic moon. Um, whenever we have that red, that's an energy of initiation, especially coming off that first quarter moon from a couple of days ago. With this being the last day of the wave spell, with that cosmic vibration of presence, we endure. We are able to transcend by being present. And the red moon will give us signs and signals that will dictate to us what we need to do. Now, this energy is still in Pisces, so we know that our emotions, our imagination, our inspiration, our hidden power is available and accessible to us. And we're also still having that waxing gibbous moon. That waxing gibbous moon gives us more light, where there's more light on the subject, more expansive energy to grow into. It becomes that honey dripping from the moon, giving us little insights to what we're going to get with the full moon that is going to come up next week, which is the lunar eclipse. Okay. And that also was the last day of the second wave spell of the refinement. The first wave spell of the ripening cycle. Let me get myself together. But the white magnetic dog is our second wave spell of this ripening cycle. It's a new wave spell. We are all about love, loyalty, and coming from the heart. Because we have the magnetic creative vibration, it's all about purpose. We unify, we attract our purpose. And so, what does that mean? We want to be very aware of what's going on Friday, because that's going to give us indication of what we're going to be dealing with for the next 13 days. And it most definitely will have something to do with love, with loyalty, and with our heart. It's our our sacral chakra. So our purpose, we're going to give birth through from that white magnetic energy. Um, the moon starts off in Pisces, but we experience a void, of course, and then the moon moves into Aries. So when we're dealing with Aries, this energy might be intense also because of the retrograde. And it will deal with issues of identity, with awareness, and we're going to experience an increase in activities and energy as well. Um, the moon continues to become a waxing gibbous also. On Saturday, we experience our blue lunar moon. This is going to be a highly transformative day, with the week and day being in the transformation area. We are guided by the higher power of abundance, so we can have a lot of whatever it is we call into play. What type of abundance will be on you? But just remember, this is the lunar day. This is a lunar day of challenge. So this creative energy helps us to deal with challenges, to be able to polarize different things we're going through, and allow us to become stable as well. The moon continues to be in Aries. The moon continues to wax. But on Saturday, we are experiencing our throat chakra. So um, if we need to express ourselves, we definitely want to do that. Just realizing that blue monkey also helps us with any illusions that we're going through. It allows us to tap into our magic, and it also allows us to play, not take life so seriously. Have a good time. On Sunday, we have the yellow electric human. Whenever we have that yellow, it's all about harvest. It's about how we have matured. And when we are in the yellow human, it is all about our free will. So when we have the electric tone, when when we are bonded with something, it activates us to act or to serve. And so we're going to be serving, going to be bonded and activated and what is pertinent to our soul and to our free will. The moon continues to be in Aries on Sunday. This is the Galactic Activation Portal Day. So remember, as always, the Galactic Activation Portal is more amplified and a more intense energy. The moon continues to be in Aries. So, like I said, while the moon is in Aries, just take special note of your feelings and your emotions, because that Mars in retrograde will be coming into play. And our last void, of course, for the week starts on Sunday, and it's going to move on into Monday. Guys, I have made some boo-boos on this presentation, but it's okay. And lastly, on Monday, we have the red self-existing Skywalker. So as we said before, this self-existing creative energy is very important because we're living off ourselves. I mean, literally, I'm literally living off myself in a situation where I thought I had to be dependent on other sources. So that is actually pretty beautiful in and of itself. But that red Skywalker, we're going to be able to initiate through that feeling of self-existing, where we can define, we can measure, and we can set the tone, we can set the form in the red Skywalker. So again, we have that self-existing energy. We are guided by the universal water. So our emotions and what we feel are going to be on high alert, which we should be. The moon again is in Aries and it's going to end in Taurus. So we're also going to be kicking into the issues of love, value, and money, and places where you need prolonged and persistent effort is how you're going to utilize that moon and Taurus energy. Okay. And so when we talk about the red Skywalker, we can expect to maybe find ourselves going in new directions, maybe some that are mysterious that we are not sure of, we don't know of. We are definitely in touch with our angel messengers. And it's all about having courage and traveling through space in areas where we have not gone before. And then we also are going to be able to open ourselves and have points, reference points be fluid. So where things are going on in our lives, we are able to be more fluid in regards to that and not be so fixed. And also Mondays are the heart chakra. So we start as we're going to end in our heart chakras. And so that is the end of the Mayan moon for the week. And if you have any questions, since this is going to be on YouTube, you can definitely post questions in that section. Thank you so much for listening in to the Mayan Moon Monday with the Sacred Empress Ali Tash, the Melanated Mayan Mystic. Be sure to catch me on Tuesdays, Thursdays, on Fridays with the beautiful, talented June Love when we do our magical moments. And you can also catch me on Thursdays doing the Melanated Mayan Mystic. Both of those are on Blog Talk Radio, where you can call in. It is on again on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Thursday, the Melanated Mayan Mystic, that is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With both of those podcast, you can call in. The number is 563-999-3612. And also, the Mayan Moon Monday, this is a free service, but you can definitely feel free to share any donations, and you can do that through Cash App at $ Alitash, ALITASH, and my government name is Nicole Bowes. But again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy, and I'll see you next week.